The Football Association of Ireland has confirmed that Ireland will play Israel on the 4th of October 2026 in the Nations League. I like football. I understand why players want to play, fans want to watch, and the FAI wants to perform. But that's exactly why we need to talk about what's being done to the sport. This game on the 4th of October isn't really a football match, it's a trap. And the people setting that trap know exactly what they're doing. They have put Ireland into a double bind. The motivators are obvious. Ireland is at the forefront of pro-Palestinian resistance in Europe. The Irish government recognised Palestine last year and Israel closed its embassy. Ireland now has a choice: play the match or boycott. If we play this match, two things happen. One, we normalise Israel's presence in European football. And two, pro-Palestinian resistance protesting is almost certainly guaranteed on the streets of Dublin. However, if we boycott, the FAI has been told Ireland could be completely disqualified from the competition and Irish football will be punished by UEFA. Boycotting is also being framed in the Western media not as the principled stand that it is, but as extremely anti-Semitic. Before Ireland decides whether or not it plays this game of football next October, we should understand how the UEFA draw works first. The draw is genuinely random in the narrowest possible way. Balls in pots pulled one at a time, assigned to groups in order. Ireland is in pot 3. That means it had a 1 in 4 chance of drawing Israel. But the fix isn't the draw, it's the rules that govern what happens before the draw. UEFA has a built-in safety mechanism called prohibited team clashes. Before the draw, UEFA executives review lists of country pairings and decide who can or cannot be drawn together based on political and security reasons. Previously, they have prevented Russia and Ukraine drawing together, Kosovo and Serbia drawing together, Belarus and Ukraine, Gibraltar and Spain. So they had the power to make sure that Israel did not draw against any team that could cause such controversy. They could have added Israel and Ireland to separate lists. They could have added Israel to a prohibited list. They chose not to. They made a deliberate decision that Israel versus Ireland was acceptable. This is after Israel has closed its Dublin embassy, after the FAI had voted 74-7 to formally request Israel's ban from UEFA, after documented violence in Amsterdam by Tel Aviv Maccabees and a police ban at Aston Villa, after Israel not being able to host any home matches in 3 years because of what it's doing in Gaza, and after an extra 4,000 Parisian police officers had to be deployed to the Israel versus France match. In plain terms, UEFA had a button that says keep these teams apart for safety reasons, and they pressed that button for Gibraltar and Spain over a territorial disagreement, but they will not press it for Israel over a genocide. Why? Because they want the spectacle. When the Tel Aviv Maccabees went to Amsterdam, before the match even kicked off, they were filmed causing chaos in the streets, pulling Palestinian flags down and screaming death to Arabs. After the match, locals retaliated and 62 people were arrested. Within hours, every major news outlet in the Western world was framing this as an anti-Semitic pogrom. And footage that proved Israeli fans had started the violence was deliberately suppressed by the BBC, CNN and New York Times. Corrections came later, but by then the narrative is set, and now suddenly anti-Semitism is rising in Europe, despite that being the total opposite of what happened. It doesn't matter. That's the media template. You control the narrative. Evidence is irrelevant. Create provocation, film only the reaction, frame that reaction as anti-Semitism, and bury the initial provocation. In October 2025, it happened again. The West Midlands Police in the UK had to ban Maccabee fans from Aston Villa. UK PM Keir Starmer called this anti-Semitic, and his charming Home Secretary tried to get the Chief Constable of the West Midlands Police fired. Days later, inside Israel, Israeli police also have to ban the Tel Aviv Maccabee Derby because they were throwing flares at their own police and making racist chants against them. The same fans that the Western media calls victims in Amsterdam and Birmingham are also causing riots in Tel Aviv. And no matter where they are or what provocation they start, they blame anti-Semitism. The Hind Rajab Foundation did a report that found that this is systemic. Israeli football fan violence is a systemic exportable, repeatable pattern. Send them to any city on the planet and they will cause chaos, try to get you to react, film that reaction, and call you anti-Semitic. That's football being used as a weapon. What do you think is going to happen in Dublin in October when those fuckers land on Fenian turf? When every bar and restaurant in Dublin has a Palestinian flag somewhere. It's not like Birmingham. And when the Irish are likely to double down and say fuck you and show up in huge numbers. Any incident, no matter who starts it, no matter how small, is going to result in the Irish being labelled on the global stage as anti-Semitic. The FAI comes out of this smeared whether it plays or not. So does the Irish government. And any corrections don't matter. They come too late. You have already given Israel a soundbite, a visual, an excuse. This was all done deliberately for that reason. That draw was not random. They could have kept Ireland and Israel away from each other. They chose to put them together. UEFA is threatening the FAI, saying that if you don't face Israel, you may face disqualification from the sport. The script that they want you to follow is, we have to play. It's just sports. We can't let politics ruin our sports. That script serves nobody, only UEFA and Israeli lobbyists, who recently gave Trump a peace prize, do you recall? To be against this match isn't anti-football, it's actually pro-sportsmanship. Real football doesn't need racist fan violence exported across Europe. Real football doesn't need our sport weaponised for propaganda. Anyone who tells you Ireland must play Israel in October is manufacturing consent for violence. They are asking you to participate in a propaganda operation disguised as sport. Real sportsmanship means fair play. Fair play means equal rules. Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022 and UEFA banned them within 4 days. They are still banned from international football. When South Africa had apartheid, FIFA expelled them and they stayed out until they ended the apartheid. Israel is committing genocide. That's not equal rules. That's a protection racket. The only thing that breaks the propaganda script is your withdrawal of consent. No spectacle means no propaganda event. No propaganda event means no narrative trap. Yes, we might face UEFA sanctions, but to be honest, UEFA should also face sanctions, and that will be my video too. Ireland stands with Palestine, and we will protect ourselves from street violence and media smear campaigns. If you don't want politics rooting football, then do not let football become a political weapon.